conversation. I'm here with Richard Piper from Meticulous Media.
Hello.
Hello.
Again.
And again, it's good to see
you here.
Yes,
in
definitely.
Different surroundings.
Absolutely, like our new space.
Yeah.
I merged to the background, but never mind, we're here to listen to you.
Well.
So today's conversation, we're going to talk about knowing the facts, right? Specifically in the area of the risk when it can potentially come to content creation.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about that and kind of where that theme's come from for you and what the importance is for you?
Yeah, I think to set the scene a little bit, if you're involved in content creation, if you're not involved in content creation, it can, be an assumption that copywriters sit down, open their laptops or computers, just start tapping away.
Yeah.
In reality, the process is far more complex and complicated, if you like. And I think what we wanted to talk about today is the importance of research. As we said in the last video, we're not always subject matter experts. We're writing for clients across a broad range of industries. Mm-hmm. And so research is critical, as well as extracting information from the subject matter experts at your client's office or whoever the contact may be there. And so there's extensive research has to take place before you actually get to sit down and start tapping away. And the importance of knowing your facts, if you like, was highlighted to me the other day. So we can go into an example. We wrote a piece for a global client, and some of the facts within that piece, once it had been published, ended up being challenged by a major organisation, a major industry association. And so they highlighted a couple of points that they disagreed with. It was the fact that I think Europe, in their opinion, was ahead of the US in a certain market, and we had it the other way around. And there was also the way we'd worded something in this particular market that they weren't happy about.
Yeah. And
we went back to our sources, we fact-checked everything again, and we were able to go back to this major organisation and say, well, actually, if you look at it, we are correct. Yeah. And it's so important to be able to go back to these people, whoever challenges what you've written, and be able to justify what you've put.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's going out into the wider world, and that presents risks as well. In worst case scenario, you could be facing legal action if you've made some sweeping generalisation about something and you haven't got anything to back it up with.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're challenged, you have to be able to justify what you've written, if you like. And it was quite pleasing that we were able to do that in this instance. As it happened, we did reword the article to keep the peace, if you like. Because, we're not here to make enemies of major organisations. But nothing further will happen. You're not putting people in their place. You're just gently explaining to them that, well, we put this for a reason. We don't just make things up or pull figures out of the air. Yeah,
definitely. And I guess as a kind of, knowledge sharing, content becomes such a huge part of kind of marketing and business, and that we all get, majority of our information comes online, and the whole kind of fake news, this is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, right? And we've seen it, like we said, fake news, but we're going to see it more and more in business and in industry, I guess, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think more and more companies are trying to position themselves as thought leaders, and if you're going to take that approach, then the content you're putting out into the wider world has to be factually correct. Ideally, those facts and figures will come from your own organisation, but if you are borrowing them from somewhere else, you better be sure that that they're accurate.
Yeah, definitely.
And spin your own trends off of that information.
Yeah, and I guess this all comes back to this idea of kind of the quality of content isn't just about, like you said, bang, those words that go down, is it? It's the whole thing, and that you've got a well-composed piece that speaks to what it needs to, all the way, Yeah,
if you can read and write, you can create content. Yeah. But the key is to produce content that people are going to want to read. Yeah. And if you want to channel people through your sales process, your sales funnel, if you like, your jumping off point, maybe this thought leadership content has to grab you. Yeah. It has to be relevant. Yeah. It has to be factually correct. as you know, at the end of the day, you're delivering information to these people that hopefully is going to be a benefit to them, and ultimately a benefit to you as well. If they engage you for your product or service.
Yeah, absolutely. And from speaking before, I know this is something that's kind of really at the heart of what you do at Meticulous Media, isn't it? Is this, they may not kind of see it, but behind the scenes you're doing all this research to make sure that is a really quality piece. And
I mean, the background of myself and the writers that we use, tends to be journalism.
Yeah. And
so it's kind of ingrained already that the research comes first. It has to be that way. Because often you're writing for an industry that you may not have had a massive amount of exposure to. Mm-hmm. The process remains the same. You can arm yourself with the facts, speak to the expert, produce a compelling piece of content. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think kind of going back to, I guess, referencing what we talked about the last kind of show that we did, was this idea of, not necessarily kind of being able to write as a someone who's ingrained in the industry, and you can speak so that other people can understand it. But it sounds like that could be a good tool as well when it comes to fact checking, because if you were in the industry, you may take for granted it's like this is the fact, whereas 100% you're going to go research everything. Because you don't have that, I know that, but really it's not been backed up or checked.
It never ever hurts to question the sources, the facts. Even they may have changed. Facts and figures change all the time. How often they're updated depends on the industry, depends on the sector. It depends on when your piece is going to be published. You may have to put a caveat into your piece, say, at time of writing this was the figure. It may well have gone up by however many million, whatever sector you're in. You just never know. So it's so important to cover yourself and to make sure that everything is absolutely spot on.
Absolutely. So for all those people out there who are writing content, be aware, be conscious, if they're writing their own, or make sure you employ a good third-party supplier like Meticulous Media to do it for you, who will do all the research and make sure everything's kind of fact-checked.
Exactly. We're not just there to write these pieces, we're there to make sure that absolutely everything is covered. And if that piece is covered from our perspective, it's covered from our client's perspective.
Yeah.
And we're that buffer, if you like.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Okay, so if people out there want to know more about Meticulous Media, kind of realise, I need to take a little bit more care, a little bit more research over the content that we're putting out, where can they find you?
You've very kindly written this out. So,
there we go.
You can find us here at Meticulous Media on Twitter, or at www.meticulousmedia.co.uk.
There we go. Glamorous assistant role done.
Thank you very much.
Richard, thank you very much. Cheers.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.